you for having me.
It is, right? I feel like as you were sitting in the green room, so many different people came through that were in your pipeline, and it was great to be able to connect a lot of those founders with you.
Yeah, that's what's so exciting about South by is that you get to meet ecosystem builders and tech entrepreneurs from all over. So I'm
That's
loving
so
it.
true.
I'm loving it.
So talk to me, Black Girl Ventures. It's a social enterprise that I'm especially excited about. So please tell us, what exactly does Black Girl Ventures do?
Black Girl Ventures works to create access to capital for Black women entrepreneurs, social and financial capital. One of our signature events is a pitch competition where we disrupt the current pitch competition and we raise money at the door. The person who wins the money. There's no judges. The audience is all community engagement, so the audience asks questions and the audience makes the vote for who wins. The winner wins a meeting with an investor, t-shirts for their business, other like wraparound resources, business coaching, legal consultations, an accountant consultation, and things like that.
That's great. So it's a few $1,000s usually that these entrepreneurs get to walk away with at the end of the night, which can be a big, increase of capital for a new starting off business.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm of the thought that you go from something to something more times than you go from zero to everything. I think we hear a lot about the stories that are just like, oh, started from the bottom and like they got to a millionaire, and those are really rare. But if you give something, if people have some hope somewhere to start, something to encourage them to keep them going, I think it just it makes the world a difference.
Absolutely. And access to capital, it's so important for female founders and entrepreneurs of color. The numbers are not good. We know that less than 10% of VC-backed, less than 10% of startups that were started by women are backed by VCs, and less than 1% are of African-American founders. So talk to us a little bit about the impetus for the company and why you chose to focus on those two demographics.
Yeah, so I have a couple ventures of my own. I have a clothing line called Made by a Black Woman, and then I have a print shop called Miss Print USA. And I realized that the struggle, I understood the access to capital struggle from there. I was lucky to have my mom to invest in me really early on. And then I got really creative and took my taxes and used my tax refund and used that to launch my print business.
Really?
And so I did. And so I realized just like, I didn't have a community. I was doing this to work. My company was growing and things were happening. I was getting customers and everything was great. But I didn't have a community. And so I'm like, hey, and so my background, I've done some performance poetry. I'm a performance poet. I will always be a poet. And with art, you can walk into, any venue and have an immediate community. I would know the person that was hosting, know the people who are, sharing their poems. But with entrepreneurship, you just don't have that. So my inspiration to create Black Girl Ventures was that. And then I knew how to build community and events. And so I'm like, hey, why don't we just create an event that raises the money itself? Because if we're not going to get it from VCs or traditional systems, banks, and things like that, we can do this. Here's a creative way to add to trying to get capital in other ways.
And you're based in Washington, D.C., which is a great place for entrepreneurs of color. Talk to us a little bit about what it's like working within that region, surrounded by so many fantastic businesses.
Yeah, so as a social entrepreneur and social enterprise in DC, we definitely have a lot of people cheering us on. We partner with DC Economic Partnership for our October pitch competition and really got the word out across the city and was able to get a lot of support.
And you're having actually an event with We DC House here.
Yes,
Talk to us about that too.
Yeah, we're having a pop-up version of the pitch competition here on Monday from 3 to 5 p.m. And we'll be just showcasing to the world the way that we do it. Like I said, my background is I'm a performance poet, so I don't know how to host a stuffy show. So it's a good time. And it is also, we give the history behind how we're doing it. So the premise of the pitch competition comes from the rent party, which during the Great Migration, the price of rent was raised to push Black people out of Harlem. And so what they did was create these parties that would raise the money to pay their rent. But this wasn't just any kind of party. We had, the greats like Fats Waller, Langston Hughes, engaged in these parties and bringing people there. So it's the social and the financial piece, right? It is the redistribution of social capital that is important here, but also the money that we're able to give away.
And also the mentoring and the networks that it provides and the
Yes.
camaraderie of uniting few hundred folks to watch these founders, learn about the companies. I actually attended my first pitch competition that you hosted maybe 6-7 months ago.
Yeah.
And I was especially just energized by the room and the people who were there to watch. We're the ones, who donated a couple of dollars that would go to the founders. And for me, that's what resonated so much and what made me such a passionate believer in Black Girl Ventures.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Yeah. It's an exciting time. And to see the women and how it makes them feel. So anyone can be in an audience. But Black and brown women are the only women that we choose to pitch. Into a space that is created for you. All right, to help you get access to capital and a new network. It's been an amazing just energy that comes from that.
Yes. So talk to us about, if I'm a founder and I'm watching and I'm based in the DC region and or some of the other cities that you're going to, how can I learn more and how can I hopefully get my company in the mix to pitch?
Awesome. So www.blackgirlventures.org is where you can find us. You can also find us on Instagram at Black Girl Ventures. The next pitch competition in DC is March 29th. It'll be at the WeWork at 80M Street, so you can come to that one. Get a ticket, come, have some conversation with us, engage, see what it's like. We'll be doing them quarterly in DC, so we'll have 4 in DC, 2 in Baltimore, and hopefully 2 in Philly. Right now we have 1 planned in Philly, but Philly has just been amazing. They're like, come here. So we're going to probably have more than 1 in Philly for sure.
That's great. Well, we're excited. I'll be saving the date, and I will definitely be there. And before we leave, just tell us a couple of female founders who are on your radar that everyone who's listening should make sure to go check out and, of course, use their platforms and purchase their products.
Absolutely. Arian Long from Femly Box. She is creating organic feminine products in a subscription box format that comes straight to your door every month. She's an amazing founder that I've been watching her for some time. She'll be pitching on Monday and pitching in our DC event as well, and she's just amazing. Roshana Novellas, she has Enrich Her, which is great, and it's going to be, they're in DC, and they work with all women founders. And then there's Bank Susu by Fanta Gilliam, which is a way to raise funding as well, using the traditional Susu model from West African cultures, which is community-based, putting money into a pot and gifting it out to each other. So those are the 3 that I'm really looking at right now, just amazing women, helping other women and helping the ecosystem, providing tools to just, I'm all about women. So
it's the Day of Women, the month of women, the year.
Yes, everything.
The eternity of women.
Absolutely. So yeah, I could go Rakia Finley from Fin Digital. They're amazing. In fact, they just in celebration of International Women's History Month, they selected a few women to give $5,000 of app development, and we were one of the beneficiaries of that. So I'm super excited about her and all the things that she's doing with Fin Digital. So yeah,
good. Well, make sure that you check out those finders, but you also check out Black Girl Ventures. If you're in one of the regions where they have the pitch competitions, you would definitely want to come out for that. And if you're here at South by, come out for the pitch that's taking place at the We DC House later this week. So thank you, Shelly, for taking the time to sit with us. I know there's so much going on at South by. There's a lot going on in this house. So we appreciate all that you're doing to support the startup ecosystem and for building a social enterprise that is so supportive of female founders of color.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.